Hello children, the topic for class 10 students today is division algorithm for polynomials. We have already learnt it in class 9. We will have a recap of that and see how it is extended in this year's lesson. Okay, first let us see how the division algorithm happens for numbers. Just say we have 25 to be divided by, say, number 4. Yes, when we divide, what will happen? We find that it goes 6 times, that is 24, and when we subtract, we get 1 remainder. Yes, 25 is known as the dividend and 4 is called the divisor. 6 is known as the quotient. This is known as quotient and this is dividend, and this will be the divisor, and this is known as the remainder. Okay, this we have learned in the lower classes. Yes, so what is the division algorithm? It will be dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Yes, let us see how we can write 25. Now 25 will be equal to, divisor is 4 into 6, which is the quotient, plus remainder 1. Can we write 25 as 4 into 6 plus 1? 4 6s are 24, 24 plus 1 is 25. So this is the division algorithm, right? Now this same division algorithm is extended for polynomials. When it is for polynomials, we write it if polynomial p of x is divided by another polynomial g of x, then the division algorithm can be written as p of x is equal to g of x into quotient, let q of x be the quotient, plus r of x, which is the remainder. So the same division algorithm is extended for polynomials. Okay, now let us see the division of a polynomial by another polynomial. That is the long division method. We learned it last year, so we will have the recap this year. Okay. Sometimes it is asked for a 3-mark question, and so it helps you to score marks. So I'd like you to listen carefully. Just say we have x cubed minus 3x squared plus x minus 1. Just say it is to be divided by another polynomial x squared minus x plus 1. Just say this something like this. Okay, now how do we do it? We will have a rough word column first. Then we will underline the first term here and the first term here. What's the first step? To underline x cubed, which is the first term in the dividend, and the first term in the divisor. And we will go to the working margin, and there we will divide x cubed by x squared. What is the answer we get? We get x. Now that x, whatever we get, we will write as a quotient. And the next step will be multiply that whatever answer you have got here by the entire polynomial here, which is x squared plus minus x plus 1. Now when you use distributive property and open up the bracket, what will you get? X into x squared will be x cubed minus x into x will be x squared plus x into 1 is x. Now whatever we have got here, we will write here below the corresponding like terms. So we will write x cubed here minus x squared here plus x. Okay. Then we have to subtract. When we are subtracting, we'll have to change the sign. So when we change the sign, look at the new sign and see what will happen. X minus x squared will cancel out, and 3 minus 3x squared plus 1x squared will give me minus 2x squared. Correct? Now here plus x and minus x will cancel out and bring down the new term, which is minus 1. Now same steps we will repeat. Underline the first term that is here, yes, and underline the first term that is here, and divide. when you divide, what will you get? Minus 2x squared by x squared. So that will be equal to minus 2, because x squared and x squared will cancel out. So you get minus 2. So whatever answer I have got here, I have to write in the quotient. Then what should I do? I should multiply minus 2 by the entire divisor, that is x squared minus x plus 1. So when you do that, now use distributive property and open out the bracket. What will you get? You will get minus 2x squared, minus into minus is plus, 2 into x is 2x, plus into minus into plus is minus, 2 into 1 is 2. So whatever I have got here, I should write it below the corresponding terms. So what will I get? Minus 2x squared. Now there is no x term here, so I will write that here as plus 2x and minus 2 below the number. Now subtract once again. When we are going to subtract, you have to change the sign. So what will you get? Now looking at the new sign, you will get minus and plus will cancel out, and here there is nothing here, so it will be minus 2x, and here minus 1 plus 2 will be plus 1. So that will be my remainder. So what is my quotient? X minus 2, and what is my remainder? Minus 2x plus 1, and my divisor is this. Understand? Now always you must note, the division will come to a close when the power of x here should be less than the power of the divisor. Understand? So this is my division algorithm for polynomials. Now for any sum that we have to do, I'll give you some sums for homework, but you have to realize how to arrange it. Sometimes what they will do is, they will just to make it a little complicated, just say they are given 2x squared minus x power 4 plus x plus 1 to be divided by x minus x squared plus 1. Okay. Now when we are going to write it as a polynomial inside the division bracket, what we have to do is first arrange in descending our order for the powers of x. So here what will you get? You will get minus x power 4. Then what is the next one we should have? We should have x cubed. X cubed is not there. So you will write plus 0x cubed. Understand? After that, what is the after 3? We should have 2. We have this plus 2x squared. Okay? Then you bring down plus x plus 1. Now we have to rearrange and write this. This is the first step. Always have the power of x in the descending order. Now the first term need not always be positive. If it is minus, you have to keep it as negative. Then here also you have to rearrange and write. So what's the first term that you will get? Minus x squared and plus x plus 1. Now the same steps we will do. Let us see how this can be done. Okay. So first what you will do, you will underline the first term and the first term here and divide. So when you get minus x power 4 divided by minus x squared, what will I get? X squared will be my answer. So you keep x squared on top. Then multiply x squared by the entire polynomial here. So what will happen? X squared into minus x squared plus x plus 1. Now expand the bracket using distributive property. What will you get? X squared into minus x squared will be minus x power 4, right? Then x squared into x will be plus x cubed and plus x squared. Okay. Now write it under the corresponding like term. So x power 4 I will write under x power 4 term, x cubed under the x cubed term, and x squared over here. Understand? Now what should I do? Should subtract. When I am subtracting, I should change the sign. So when you change the sign, it will become minus will become plus, plus will become minus, plus will become minus. Okay. Now looking at the new signs, if you think this will cancel out, when you subtract, this will cancel out. This will become 0 and minus x cubed. So you get minus x cubed. Then and here it will become 2 minus 1 will be plus 1x squared plus x. Bring down 1 term. Understand? Now let us see, the same procedure will repeat. So underline the first term here and the first term here. So what will you get? You get minus x cubed divided by minus x squared. Okay? So this way also minus sign will cancel out and you will get x here. The answer that you get, you will put it in the quotient place and then multiply this by the entire polynomial here. So what will you get? X into minus x squared plus x plus 1. Now using distributive property, expand the bracket, what will you get? X into minus x squared will be minus x cubed, right? X into x will be x squared. X into 1 will be plus x. So whatever you have got, write it under the corresponding terms. What will you get? Minus x cubed plus x squared plus x. So now when you change the sign, what will happen? This will become plus, this will become minus, this will become minus. So what will happen? Looking at the new sign, this will cancel out. Looking at the new sign, this will also cancel out. This will also cancel out. Now what is there left? We are bringing down 1. Now since this is the power is less than this, we can stop with this. So the remainder will be 1. So what is the quotient? Quotient will be x squared plus x. The remainder will be 1. And what will the divisor be? X minus x squared plus x plus 1. And this will be the dividend. Have you understood? Now this is something we have already learned in class 9. And so you can do it. If you get this type of sum, it is going to be easy and you will be able to score your 3 marks. Just say they ask you to verify the division algorithm means, then you show that this term into this term plus the remainder should be equal to the dividend. Okay, that is by the way. Now let us go on to the sum that we need to learn for this year. Now the sum that they usually give is something like this. Just say they say find all the zeros of p of x, which is equal to 2x power 4 minus 3x cubed plus minus 3x squared plus 6x minus 2. If 2 of its zeros, are root 2 and minus root 2. Okay. Now here they have given p of x, but they haven't given the divisor. Instead of that, they have given the zeros of this polynomial, 2 of its zeros. Now when it is a polynomial to the power of 4, how many zeros will it have? It will have 4 zeros. So they have given 2 zeros and they are asking you to find the other 2 zeros. Now for that, what we should do is, first we have to form the divisor. Now for that, this is the thing, the zeros are given. That means x is, this is what you would write, given x is equal to root 2 and x is equal to minus root 2. These two things are given. Now when I transpose, what will I get? X minus root 2 and this will become x plus root 2 are factors. Okay. Now if these two are factors of this polynomial, then what happens? This factor into this factor should be a factor of this polynomial. See, for example, it should be x minus root 2 into x plus root 2 is a factor of p of x. Okay, let us check for factors of 36, say a number. Number 36, what are the prime factors we have? 2 into 18. Yes, that means actually what will it be? 2 into 3 into 3, that is 9 into 2. Yes, 2 2s are 4, 4 3s are 12, 12 3s are 36. Okay, these are the factors of 36. Okay, now when we multiply any of these two factors, will they be a factor of this? Yes, 2 3s are 6. Is 6 a factor of 36? Yes. Now you multiply 3 into 3, you get 9. Now is 9 a factor of 36? Yes, it is a factor. Now 2 into 2, if I multiply 2 2s are 4. Is 4 a factor of 36? Yes. So when we multiply two factors, it will be a factor of the bigger number. So let us see, for example, in this case we have got two factors. So this factor into this factor should be a factor of the polynomial p of x. So when I multiply, this is of the form a minus b, a plus b. So what will you get this as? You will get this as a squared minus b squared. So what will you get this as? Is a factor of p of x. That implies x squared minus 2 is a factor of p of x. So I have got the divisor. Now once I have the divisor, we can go ahead, divide the polynomial by this divisor, get the quotient and factorize. So let us see how we can do it. Now can I see the long division? The divisor that we have got is x squared minus 2. So I am going to divide this polynomial 2x power 4 minus 3x cubed minus 3x squared plus 6 minus 2, 6x minus 2 by x squared minus 2. Okay, now let us see, go to the working page. What we have to do, underline the first term and the first term here. So when you divide, what will you get? You'll get 2x power 4 divided by x squared. So the answer that you will get is 2x squared. Understand? What happens when you are taking this exponential form 4 and 2, when with this division you have to subtract. 4 minus 2 will be 2. That is why we get 2x squared. Now the answer that I get here, I have to put it on the top, 2x squared. Okay. Now what you will do is, you will take 2x squared and multiply by the entire term. So what will that be? X squared minus 2. So when you expand the bracket, what will you get? You will get 2x power 4 minus 2 2s are 4x squared. Now write it below the like terms. So what will I get? I will put 2x power 4 here. Now x squared term, I shouldn't put below x cubed term. I should put below x squared term. So you get minus 4x squared. Now what should you do? You should subtract. When you subtract, the signs will change. So when you change the sign, what will happen? This will cancel out. Now there is no term, that means it's 0. So we can just bring down this term, minus 3x cubed. Okay. And this will become minus 3x squared plus 4x squared. So what will it become? Plus 1x squared. Are we okay with that? Minus 3 plus 4 is plus 1. Bring down the next term, plus 6x. Okay. Now what happens is, the same procedure will repeat. So you underline the first term and underline the first term here. So what will you get? You will get x minus 3x cubed divided by x squared. So what will you get? Answer minus 3x. Correct? Minus 3x. So that you will write on top, minus 3x. Then what you should do? You should take minus 3x and multiply by the entire divisor. That is x squared minus 2. So when you do that, what will happen? Expand, you will get minus 3x cubed. Minus into minus is plus. 3 2s are 6x. Are we okay with that? So now write it under the corresponding like terms. So when you're writing it under the corresponding like terms, it will become minus 3x cubed. Now there is no x squared term, it is x term. So write it under plus 3x. Okay. Now what you have to do is subtract. When you subtract, this will become plus and this will become minus. So looking at the new sign, this will cancel out. Since there is no term, bring down this term, 1x squared. Now looking at this new sign, plus 6x minus 6x will cancel out. So what is left? Minus 2. Bring down minus 2. Now what should you do? You should divide the first term here by the first term there. So what will you get? X squared by x squared is equal to 1. So now this, when you multiply 1 by x squared minus 2, what will you get? You will get x squared minus 2. So when you write it under the like terms, you will get this one, we have to write here, no, plus 1. So you will get x squared minus 2. So when you change the sign, this will cancel out and this also will cancel out, you will get 0. When it is a factor, the remainder will be a 0. Now this is the long division part, but what was the question? To find all the zeros when two of its zeros were root 2 and minus root 2. So 2 zeros are already there, we have to find the next 2 zeros. Now for that, what we have to do is, after the long division, the quotient that we get, we have to factorize by splitting the middle term. Let us see how that can be done. I hope you are okay with this long division. It is the same as what we have done last year. So you should find it easy. Now let us go on to factorizing this quotient. So you say 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 equal to 0. Now what happens? You multiply the first term and the third term. That's how you split the middle term, right? So what will I get? I will get 2x squared. Now what are the factors of 2? Factors of 2 is only 1 into 2, right? So 1x into 2x. Now when you add or subtract, we should get the middle term. When you add 1 and 2, we are getting 3, right? But I need minus 3. So what can I do? If I put minus here and minus here, minus 1 and minus 2, when I add, I will get minus 3, correct? When I multiply, I should get back this term. So when you multiply, what will you get? Minus into minus is plus, 1 into 2 is 2, x into x is x squared. Are we okay with this? So once we have this, let us split the middle term and write 2x squared minus 1x minus 2x plus 1 equal to 0. So the first and the third term I will write as it is. The middle term I will split with the corresponding factors. So what will I get this as? Now underline these two, take out common and have x as common, and you will have 2x minus 1. And here there is nothing common, so what I will do, I will put down this minus sign and take 1 as common. So what will be remaining? 2x, correct? And since I have taken out minus sign, this sign has to be changed. So this will be minus 1. See, if you say minus into 2x will be minus 2x, minus 1 into minus 1 will be plus 1. So I haven't changed the sign. So equal to 0. So now what happens in this term and this term, what is common? 2x minus 1 into x minus 1 equal to 0, right? So that implies this factor is equal to 0 and this factor equal to 0. So what will you get? You get 2x minus 1 equal to 0 and x minus 1 equal to 0. Now when I transpose, I will get 2x is equal to 1. That implies x is equal to half. So I have got one more 0. Now what here I will get? X is equal to 1. Correct? So what are the other two zeros that I have got? Half and 1. Now the answer that we have to write for this is, the 4 zeros of p of x are, the zeros of p of x are, the first two zeros are root 2, the next one is minus root 2. Now what are the two zeros I have found? Half and 1. So this is how you will factorize and find the other two zeros. I hope you have understood this. I will give you some sums for homework. Please try and do them. If you have any doubts, I am forming a WhatsApp group. You can clarify your doubts there and continue with the homework. Okay? Stay home, stay safe. Have a nice day. Thank you, children.